Welcome to Body Work.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
I had 11 Olympians and over 800 national champs. And all those men, they wouldn't do half the work that she do. And I'm seeing it from the young ladies. These last 2 years, when you think about it, all the good fights is coming from the women. The guys is ducking each other, looking for the easy way. Hey, I'm telling you like it is, you know? So again, you know, this young lady done did everything I asked of, and she did more. And I'm watching all the young ladies that's boxing now. It's like they trying to prove they better than men. Now, we knew they was kind of there, but now they showing that they mean. You know, in old days in Philly, we call these guys crazy. And that's the way these women are. So when you go back home, speak nice to you.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, Prance? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. How y'all doing this evening? How are we doing out there this evening? It look like it's a little bit more than what meets the eye. We're coming to Spence and Bud, huh? And like I said, my banner. I've been meaning to put that out there. I got that KY jelly for sale for the low. And what it does is it prohibits goalposts moving, specifically in the sport of boxing. Yeah. Went to a Fortune 500 seminar early 2000. And the president of this airline company said that where most people go wrong, they try to be so new and try to create this whole other thing. He said, man, the secret is not reinventing the wheel. It's just coming up with ways to make the wheel better. I ain't gonna charge y'all nothing for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna charge y'all nothing for that, man. It's Friday, man. It's Feel Good Fridays, man. It's a lot of things to feel good about. You know what I'm saying? So I just figure I'd get on here, man, and see if I can hear from some people, man, because it was some from yesterday to today, last week to this week, last month to this month, last year to this year, the last 5 years to right now, man. A lot of people would just be flip-flopping all over the place, man. I'm just trying to get a beacon on where everybody at. You know what I'm saying? I want to see where everybody at. I want to know. So I'm just like, I'm looking at the landscape, man, and it's like, when you don't really pay attention to what's going on, you will find yourself thinking that you're going insane in the membrane. And I guess I'll keep up with the same theme that I've been on my last couple of lives. You know, because it's ever present in the sport of boxing, man. And we ain't really getting nowhere. I think a lot of time we're just spinning our wheels. I think a lot of us out here just getting mad at each other. But gaslighting, the psychological manipulation of a person, usually over an extended period of time, it causes the victim to question the validity of their own thoughts, perception of reality, or memories, and typically leads to confusion, loss of confidence and self-esteem, uncertainty of one's emotional or mental stability. Pretty deep. Lastly, what I failed to mention, and it's an and. That means not all of that, not just that. It was an and. And the dependency on the perpetrator. The act or practice of grossly misleading someone, especially for one's own advantage. Yikes. Oh man, like, man, where do I start? Where do I start? This is a classic gaslighting technique, telling victims that they are crazy and lying, and that the gaslighter is the only source for true information. It makes victims question their reality. Stephanie Sarkis. Oh man, she dropping heavy like Banks, man. I might have to read that again, man. This is a classic gaslighting technique, telling victims that others are crazy. So when you find somebody saying, you know, you crazy, you lying, and that the gaslighter is the only source for true information. But what that do, Mike? It makes victims question their reality. Yeah. The act or practice of grossly misleading someone, especially for one's own advantage. You ever realize that, man, the more and more time goes by, depending on who you getting the information on, pretty much that information is going to be catered towards the benefit of whoever's giving you that information, right? It can't just be like that guy that you run into, you know what I'm saying, when you out and about. You stop off in the convenience store and they be like, dang, I'm messed up because time go back in the morning. You be like, oh, okay, thanks, cool. It wasn't no benefit. It wasn't no benefit on that person that told you that the time was about to go back with the whole daylight savings thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no benefit to him to let you know that. He just, he just spilled the beans. I'm just here to let y'all know, man, the time about to go back. And that ain't gonna benefit me to let y'all know that the time gonna go back. I'm just letting you know. And you're like, oh, that's right, man. The time gonna go back. We're gonna go back to where all this capping was going on, where everybody was sitting up there talking about, you know what I'm saying, what somebody was gonna go do and how they had this option and how they had that option. And we look up, man, it's only been a couple days later, man. It's only been a couple days later, man. And apparently nothing was going on in the background. So, because we got to think, man. We got to think. Let's be realistic. I think I covered this on a live last night. I think I went over this. In order for an announcement of a Rollie, and a Cruz, or the announcement of a Thurman and a Zoo, like in order for an announcement, the way a certain organization get down is they didn't just sit down over tea 2 days ago and decide, 3 days ago and decide and be like, yeah, in 2 days we're gonna, No, there were negotiations. And I want you to stick with me for the, the people who was in the back of the bus. I want you to stick with me. It's gonna all make sense. Have a little bit of patience with your boy. What it means is, if it was an announcement that was made, that means that the whole time that people were reporting that this was happening and that was happening, it was a ruse. It was a facade. Because in order for things to announce, you ever had boiled eggs in a salad? You know what it takes to get a boiled egg in a salad? That means that thing had to get in some hot water, reach 212 degrees and produce steam and stay under there for about approximately 11 minutes, maybe. That had to happen before you taste your egg on your salad. You know what I'm saying? That's what had to happen. So that means business negotiations had to be going on for the announcements to be made now. So what that is an implication that somebody was out here flapping in the wind. Just yapping. Like right-hand men was out here just flapping and just yapping and just saying whatever they wanted. Because it's social media, you can say whatever you want. That's why I always say it's a gift and a curse. Because how was it you going for this and you got this and you got all these? It look like these options are where they going, man? It looked like the whole situation between there not being any rematches transforming, and there's more that meets the eye than what somebody been telling you, and all this breaking news every 5 minutes, breaking. You should have been one of the Beastie Boys with all that breaking news. You stay breakdancing, you know what I'm saying? That's the new terminology, y'all. I'm gonna coin phrase that. Breakdancing. When somebody come out with all this breaking news every 5 minutes and it's They just prancing around, you know what I'm saying, topics and subjects, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying? But just like the sport of boxing, you're gonna have to make some adjustments. Cause just like right now when we see all these playoff games and we got all them games of film in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? These defensive coordinators got time to look at all those games. 16 games. You want to count some of the preseason games. You want to count some of they had a lot of film. And then if you were starting last year, they had a lot of film on all your tendencies. Everything you like to do. But, ain't nobody ever tried this against that defense. Ain't nobody ever tried that. You know what I'm saying? And salute. Bug gonna stop Canelo. What up, bro? What's going on? But to me, man, it's like, man, reliable sources, you know what I'm saying? We can't really depend on those. They ain't what reliable sources, man. When information come like this, man, it's like a blazing trail. You got to go back and look and see who was saying what. They were just flapping in the wind. They didn't know nothing. What I want to know is, man, this look like the big payback, man. It look like that, you know, all your, you know what I'm saying? You know how some people be thinking, oh, man, I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be up there with The Rock one day and I'm going to, no, the reality is, you're probably going to go out there and unless you're willing to do something strange for some change, you're going to do a little bit of waitressing, a little bit of bartending, and eventually you're going to figure like, oh, okay, well, cool, I might as well go to law school or I might as well get this certification in that. And you're going to be aspiring and inspiring and inspiring. And that's never going to happen. And that's the whole perception versus reality conversation. Like, it's like a whole glitz and glamour. Like, they've made normal looking people, like normal everyday people, like they're freaks and they're nothing and they can't, you know, that's not true. Some of the best people in the world are normal, regular people, man. And a lot of times, man, I know if you've been around for any extended period of time, you probably done struck off real hard in this direction. 0 to 60 real quick. Might even put in a couple years into that. That didn't go well. Put in a couple years into that. Like, sometimes you have all these plans, you know, of things that you're going to do, but really they're just delusions of grandeur. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes reality set in. Somebody let you know that somebody done told you wrong, black. Somebody done told you wrong, man. Like, you thought, oh, that's what you thought? Oh, that's how you thought that worked? Oh, okay, yeah, that's not how that worked, man. So what's popping, man? Like, you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You can be a businessman. You going to honor that contract. You going to honor that contract, you know what I'm saying? Or do I got to pull a Mike Jack and make y'all remember the time? Remember the time, you know what I'm saying? Do we remember the time when Wilder was going through this with Fury? And at that same time, guess what? Mike was applying the same principle. I said, man, this Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder stuff is toxic. What did Mike say about this Errol Spence Bud? I said it's toxic. What I say about the Tank and Devin, and we ain't even get that fight, but it's toxic. Because everybody being gaslit, man. People come out popping up, providing, you know what I'm saying, rebuttals and solutions and analysis and equations, you know what I'm saying? Your head be spinning. You just be like, man, sometimes it don't take all that, man. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. It be the basics, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just common sense, you know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? It don't take no Pythagorean's theorem and pi, and it don't take all that. It just take common sense, bro. Just common sense, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just like life will actually let you know. Events will actually let you know. You know what I'm saying? There's things that are happening that will just let you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, life will come up and tap you on your shoulder and be like, hey, man, nah, it's not going down like that. Reroute. You know what I'm saying? About face, move out. that's crazy. I ain't see that. I just know that you know, Tim Tszyu bagged one time. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu bagged one time, so that was off the table. You know what I'm saying? I seen some other stuff about the belts, and everybody was quick to do this and quick to do that. And I seen some old news that was like, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Andre Smith, salute body work. Bud in the bind. Amazon Prime. Man, y'all better stop for y'all make Bud set it off. Remember when Set It Off? Remember when Set It Off when she leaned up against that what was that, a Cutlass? I'm in the bind, Nate. I'm in the bind, Nate. Oh man, I'm in the bind, Nate. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, the shower scene, it was oh man. I'm like, oh man, I had to take a shower after watching that. Keith Thurman video was lame and cringe. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out who he gonna set it off. I don't know, man, because you know, I just know that he about to put his forearm up on that cut, man, and you know, run his hands over his head and say, "Hey, I'm in the bind, Nate." Because I mean, I want today's topic really was, man, it's really towards Spence, man. I'm like, man, it's like, I was like, you know, because I try to be even. I'm like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on Bud. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting a lot of pressure on Bud, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on Bud. And I got to thinking, like, man, you got to look at it from both sides, Mike. So I'm like, man, if I was Spence, would I be thinking a big payback? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, all these people, you know, all the people that were saying, yeah, that's okay to do this in business and it's okay to do that in business. It's okay to burn that bridge. It's okay to devalue this business over here. All of those people are quiet. They done moved subjects now. They're not even touching on business now. They're not saying anything about business now. Yeah, that's how it is. You know how when you had that big party and you invite everybody over and y'all get on the grill and y'all have some beers and y'all have some drinks and y'all, it might be Monopoly going on over there. It might be a space table over there. It might be dominoes over there. You got seafood in the kitchen. You got a big bowl of punch. You got people coming in and out. You got music and all that. You know what I'm saying? When the music stops, and you wake up and you get up and you walk around, you look around, you like, dang, I ain't even think about who gonna clean up all this mess. Yeah, like that's not popular content to really be talking about right now. Like that mess, like all that slander, all that backlash, all that, oh, you waffling, all that being a hard, you know what I'm saying, prudent business person, you know what I'm saying, raking people over the coals, making unquestionable, like crazy demands. Now you got it. You were successful. But see, that's them people that hit a lick like one time, you know what I'm saying? They'll just do it. They'll sell out one time for it. And that one time, it ruins everything, man. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be able to, I know at least me, you know what I'm saying? If I was to compare it to something else, you know what I'm saying? If I ran up on something, you know what I'm saying, and I landed something and it was A1, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to make sure that every time I come back, it's always A1, and I'm always gonna be able to come back because it's always A1. And they're always gonna want me to come back because it's always A1. But when you be grimy and you like, nah, I'm gonna just, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be grimy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna smash y'all. Yeah, that's the seed that you sown, man. And when you going around, you doing that, yeah, I know this ain't gonna trust me, listen, I gotta intervene on my own self. This is not gonna get a whole lot of likes, clicks, and views. Because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's the truth. So all of that grimy stuff, all this and all that, like when you be thinking, man, just like them people who, it happens to the best of them. It happened to Antonio Brown. It happened to T.O. I'm talking about T.O., the wide receiver. T.O. When people get too big for their britches, man, and they, you know what I'm saying, they be thinking that, oh, I could do this. Like, we had a couple scares here recently, man, with some people that made some big money now. You know, there's some people in college that done jeopardized their stuff with that name, image, and likeness stuff. And it's like, yeah, you could think it work a certain kind of way. You could think it work a certain kind of way. You can act like, yeah, I got it like this and I got it like that, but man, once they pull that rug out from up under you, and you ain't got nothing to support up under you, it's different. Go Queen, hitting that like button. I appreciate you, man. Always. They originally said the rematch had to be in December. It's about to be February. When is that contract void? I'm not sure. I'm just, you know, that's not really none of my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into contracts and all that. You know, it's other people that can break down that. I just know that if there is one, and I know that going in, then okay, if this man asking for one, and the people that actually condone that, just let you know what kind of business they run. You know what I'm saying? What kind of business they run. If you had an agreement that we're gonna do this twice, they're gonna be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I made the most bread I ever made, but I don't think I'm gonna do that again. Because people get the big head and they try to go do their own thing, or they think they figure something out and then they think they can go do it. It's like, no, man, because there's more than just the deal. There's a whole set of people in place. You know what I'm saying? If you ever look behind the mechanics or something and you ever pull something out, it's gears. There's relays. It's stuff that go on. You know what I'm saying? It's a network of more than just businesses. It's of people with regularity. Because anything real big that happens real frequent, man, it's a whole lot of regularity with it. Yeah, you got to change along with the times and adapt, but there's regularity. When you try to come and disrupt all of that, man, it's not going to end up good for you. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like a whole lot of ha, but look like somebody's britches is getting singed. What's the next move, man? Because I think somebody off the table, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got the Zoo who was highly coveted. But guess what? Bernie came out and said, guess what he said, y'all? Bernie came out and said that when it comes down to Tim Zoo and Boots, he said it's very close. But he would have to edge it for Tim Zoo. But guess what? Tim Zoo ain't on the table no more. And they both got their belts the same way. Because the reigning champ didn't fight them and they got a belt that way. Golly. I know this ain't gonna get a whole lot of likes, clicks, and views. I'm not here for that, you know what I'm saying? We still gotta wait on Amazon Prime. Yeah, we gotta wait. Everybody in a standstill. That's why everybody throwing all these darts. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody throwing all these darts. Cause they waiting. You know what I'm saying? He could not fight Tim for the WBO belt. It's funny that Canelo's still fighting on Showtime, but not Bud and Spence, and that was planned before. They went out of business like Canelo. Suspect. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there's some lawyers who get into all of that stuff and, you know, can break all that stuff down, man. That's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? Andre Smith, snack program works. Victor Conte. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, there's a lot of different people on snack. I ain't gonna even lie to you. So you throw Man, it's coming down heavy. It's some people that I salute that get into it, man. It's a dude named Black Hat Salute. I've been watching his stuff, man. That dude thorough. I'm just sitting back waiting and watching, you know what I'm saying, looking at everything he put out. Looking at everything he put out, because he get into it, man. He get down to it. I salute him. I'm not, I don't know him. I don't, you don't know me. I'm not doing it for any favors or nothing. I'm just saying, like, if you spitting that real, and I know that what you're saying isn't always what people want to hear. I know how hard it is. You know what I'm saying? So, there's some people that specialize in getting into those arenas when it comes down to snack, and some people break down the law aspect of things. Some people break down the contracts and all that. Some people break down the PD and snack and all that. Some people break down all those kind of things. That's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? That's not my lane. I don't break down that kind of stuff. I'm here to put benchmarks out, bookmarks out, and to actually really allow some people who would actually listen. It was a dude out here from Baltimore. And the crazy thing is, when I finally find out about who he was, I was already doing what he was doing, but I found out who he was. I found out that he was no longer here. He was doing the same thing I was doing. Never knew him. Came up on his videos one day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the algorithms put it on there, but I came up on his videos one day, and I was like, Eureka! Cold with it. And all it was common sense, basic logic, basic everyday common sense and logic. That's all it was, you know what I'm saying? But now that's not popular. You need sensationalism. You need some drama. You need some excitement. You need somebody to slap somebody or disrespect somebody or something like that. And that's not, it don't got nothing to do with boxing. If you go to him, you're going to him for a reason. Snack didn't help Andre stop it. Devin Haney weighed in at 140. The next day, the man at 175. Hey, you know what? The only thing is, man, like, because this thing in life, right? Just like all these boxers' careers, right? Every day, man, we always sprinting. That's why everybody want to be first. Like, everybody want to be like, you know how everybody always say, oh man, they get out the blocks fast. Sometimes getting out the blocks fast don't really mean shit. What about if you the type like me? I don't get out the block fast. You might get me off the jump, but once I get up to top speed, I can finish. So being first and all that ain't nothing. But in everything, just like boxing, just like these boxers in their careers, it ain't how fast you get out the blocks. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like the true people, this is what's so torturous about being in the marathon. And a lot of these parallels compare to what we go on in life. But in this boxing game, right? Just like in the marathon, you could be leading the pack forever. Oh yeah, you could be leading the pack. For 3.5, it's a 4-mile race. And for 3.5 miles, you were leading the pack. And right at the end, somebody come up on you because they were trained to turn it on at the very back end. It happened in sprinting all the time, but this is a marathon. You can make all these strides and do all this stuff and get all there, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's really a marathon. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is like a bad boxer's lifestyle, man. That can derail you. You're already putting a ceiling on how far you're gonna go, because when you go out and you want to smoke and drink and party, and the other guy, he wants to, as soon as he leave a function, he's going to go hit the gym. He want to go hit the track. He want to go look at film. He gonna go relax. You know, I think as far as activity, man, I think that, man, he got it down. But I'm thinking as far as business, and I think that's the biggest knock, man. It's like, it's gonna rear its little ugly head, man. And to me, it looked like it's rearing its little ugly head, and to me, it looked like Errol Spence had way more power than what everybody give him, you know what I'm saying, credit for having. You know what I'm saying? I think that his leverage and who he is and his stance and how he figures into the big picture, I think that's more than evident now. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think? What say you, my friend? What's going on? Somebody let me know. Yeah. Y'all know how I do. See, man, like Bud gonna stop Canelo. I'm gonna have to give you a nickname, man. I'm gonna start calling you Stop C, because I can't say that every time. But Stop C, man. That's what I mean about like gaslighting, man. That's a form of gaslighting, brother. If that really is a fun fact, that's not an absolute, man. That's not an absolute. That's not an absolute. What you saying? Nah, but hey, at your behest, I actually fell back off of that. You know what I'm saying? I actually fell back off of that. I said, you know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not gonna put no pressure on them, you know what I'm saying? Because we see, boxing allow us to be able to be off in la la land. Like, we don't really see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? We see what's going on. Some of us just play along. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know how when somebody ain't telling you something, you already know the answer to the question. I'm infamous for doing that. I definitely ask you something I already know the answer to. You know what I'm saying? And you go a long way like, oh yeah, okay, well, how come that valve ain't open there? Oh yeah, you right. Yeah, I know. It is what it is, man. We not gonna go there, man. I want people to be like, I want now, tonight is the time where I want to hear from all of the Spence fans and how y'all feel, man. Do it let you know that Spence ain't done, he ain't won? Because, man, like, why many people was always talking about how, oh, everybody want to tear down, you know what I'm saying, that man, but like, y'all won't give him no respect. It's like that man lost to arguably, you know what I'm saying, let's say the best boxer on the planet, pound for pound #1, and now he went from he ain't shit. Well, that's how Bud got the bag. That's how Bud propelled himself to greatness. So how is Errol Spence saying shit? I'm trying to hear from the Spence fans tonight. For real. And if you're a Bud fan, I just want to know what's next, because obviously one of them is it a Bishop, a Rook, a Knight? One of them just got taken off the board. Like, that's no longer an option, cuz. You might as well say 2 if you want to argue Canelo. So what I want to know, I want to hear from my fellow Spence fans. You know what I'm saying? I welcome Spence only fans too, because Spence only fans, the one that only rock with Spence, they could be just extreme as the Bud only fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Spence fan. I want to hear from the Spence fans as to, did Spence just put some points on the board as far as saying that, hey man, like for all this narrative, for all these, I mean, I'm talking about boxers. I'm talking about like boxers who legendary boxers who I highly respect was just out there talking reckless about Errol Spence. Like, it's over for him. He might well stop. He just went, but you know, and I had to hold back from it. But I seen the interview, and it was the boxer, a boxer I look up to, a boxer who I say that I agree with 90% of the time. Now, he hung up the glove. He ruined the legend. You know what I'm saying? It's highlights of him ruining a legend. He came out and he was talking about in this interview about how he was yearning for his rematch. He was like, man, I just never got it. I just whatever. I'm like, well, how come you don't understand when somebody got a rematch? He just did an interview. The only reason why I ain't do it because I didn't want nobody to think that I was targeting him. I said, I'll let this die down. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that off in the safe and roll it out later. But if you're listening and you roll it out, have at it. You know what I'm saying? That's on the house. But he, a former boxer who upset a legend, was coming out talking about when it was his time for a rematch, how he wanted that rematch so bad and he never got it. He didn't understand why. This the same one that's saying basically it's ruined. Spence ain't got no chance. He don't respect the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, how does that work? So how can you give an interview about how you felt about a rematch, but then be so adamant about somebody who's still lacing them up? Because if the only way you know how to make a living, if somebody come by and tell you to stop doing what you've been doing, that's the only way that you know how to make a living, or that you've been making a living and it ain't over for you yet, that's y'all like disrespectful. That's why I'll give out a suggestion when I say, hey man, he don't need to go back in there, man. I don't be wanting it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you a key secret between every single one of us boxing fans. I don't care who you like. You love to see somebody get knocked out. You love to see somebody's face get busted. You love to see somebody get knocked through the ropes. That's what we all got in common. So miss me with that. So when I say you need to hang it up, you need to do this, is because, man, it's like, man, I know that it's pretty much it's the end of the road, and we don't want to see you go out like that. That's me as a fan saying, man, like, man, I know you're gonna have to do something else. That's just me as a fan. That's just me as having my own perspective and knowing that, hey, I'm out here in real life. I got a job I got to get up and go to 5 days out of the week. I'm not ashamed. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me as a fan looking from the outside in. But when another boxer who used to lace it up say, oh, nah, it's different. Like when you see like what was going on with Muhammad Ali and how that was a travesty how they let that man get back in the ring. That was a travesty. And if that don't show you business-wise what somebody's willing to do with you being in a certain state, what people will allow to happen, but there's no way he should have been able to get back in there. And that's what set Tyson off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to be a recorder, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Bud gonna stop Canelo. I ain't gonna say no names, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I know it's truth, you know what I'm saying? But I can't say no names, because then I'd be like, I'm coming. But since you know, and I didn't have to say no names, then real recognize real. We recognize real in some other areas too, but we not gonna acknowledge that. We gonna play the game. We gonna play the game. You know what I'm saying? We gonna play the game. I'm just saying though, I think in a way, Spence he kind of felt a little bit better. Like, look, man, I do got a little pull out here in these boxing streets. I did kind of go around clearing out the division. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that this guy beat, I beat first. And I got a strap, you know what I'm saying, off of 2 of them before the other guy fought him. You know, those are points on the board. Those are things that we can't forget, because that's what I was saying. That's why I always bring up the term gaslighting. When people try to make you compromise the fact that you remember that regardless of whatever state Kell Brook was in, Earl went and got a strap off of him. He went and got a strap off of him. When Earl fought Sean Porter, he went and got a strap off of him. He went and got a strap off of Ugas. You can say whatever you want, because we don't use that same logic when it comes down to the fact that Devin went and got a strap off of Kambosos. That don't apply. But that's what makes him undisputed above everybody, because Kambosos beat T.O. and he beat Kambosos. But he went and got a strap off Kambosos. Earl went and got a strap off of Kell Brook before Bud fought him. He went and got a strap off of Sean Porter before Bud fought him. And he went and got a strap off of Ugas, who had a little history with Bud in the amateurs, who they never had any intention of fighting Ugas, who Bomac said that he was very dangerous and he was saying all this and all that about him. You know, the narrative changed right before Spence was getting ready to fight him. Oh my gosh, we know Ugas ain't this, Ugas ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you anything like me, who knew that Keith Thurman was going to lose to Manny Pacquiao? Who knew that Keith Thurman? If you can tell me right now, if you can show me a video of you saying that Keith Thurman was going to mess around and lose to Manny Pacquiao, I might have something for you. Nobody saw that coming. But guess what? One time got in there bullshitting. He got in there bullshitting. And think about all the stuff he was saying before the fight, the T-Rex arms, all this, all that. You know what I'm saying? He was saying all that, underestimating all that. Underestimating your opponent. Rule number 2, never underestimate your opponent. Rule number 1, know thyself. You know what I'm saying? Know thyself, know thy enemy. Never underestimate your opponent. It's the basics. And that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when the refs stop the fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, unless it's just apparent. It's like sometimes people gotta, if it's unanswered and all that, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you kind of gotta let or give somebody an opportunity. Not too many opportunities, but it kind of gotta be an even standard. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, hey, these are points on the board for Errol. Look like it ain't gonna be as easy as everybody said it was gonna be. It looked like somebody got a little more options than somebody else, you know what I'm saying, in hindsight. If hindsight was 2020, you know what I'm saying, are you retracting? Do you need me to send you my Gmail or my Cash App so you can get some of that KY jelly to help these people stop moving all these goalposts around? All this break dancing, you know what I'm saying? They be doing all this breaking news when they really just be dancing around current events. Because ain't nothing really breaking. And we got to start looking at, like, we got to go back and look at some of the people. A la the right-hand man. The right-hand man was talking out his ass, like, if you really want to be honest. Like, because the right-hand man was talking like that, but he was talking out his ass once again, he was talking out his ass, because if he wasn't talking out his ass, and he knew what was going on, he was selling y'all some stuff because he really know what's going on in the background, which is crazy. And you know you're dealing with a character. If that's not the case, he was talking out his ass because in order for that fight to be announced at that point in time, business agreements and meetings and all of the everything that was happening, you know what I'm saying, had to be happening in the background. So that means he didn't know what he was talking about. Let's not rewrite history, man. Let's acknowledge what's going on. Like I said, I know these don't get that many views. I know they don't get that many views. These are for the channel's growth. So as we grow and we continue to push and strive and improve here and there and there and there and there, I'll have this in real time to go back to this time and this date when I was telling everybody this was what's going on. I was going to make this a flashback Friday and show y'all that this was actually going to happen. But I said, you know, Just like some music, you know what I'm saying? If you was born in a certain era, you listen to a certain music. If you go back too far because it's dated, it don't resonate with you. But if you're a true music fan, all good music stands the test of time. And you understand that was a different time, so you can appreciate that music for that time. And I ain't gonna charge you nothing for that. I thought I was gonna hear from some Spence fans, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it the payback? You know what I'm saying? He pulling his James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked like Earl got a little bit more clout. He got a little bit more pull. He got a little bit more equity in this thing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over for him. It looked like, you know what I'm saying? It looked like he gonna be all right. It looked like that rematch is gonna go down just like that Fury and Wilder thing happened. And I learned a lot from y'all who was out here whining and crying about a rematch. And so now I would love to go back and look at a lot of those videos about a lot of those people who was whining and crying about Wilder getting his rematch. I would love to go back and see. I know who they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, right now, it's classwork if you want to do it right now. But it's definitely homework. It's definitely homework, man. Like, and it's a trend. People will go back down and they'll start making videos private and pulling down videos. But people who had that same energy during that Wilder Fury rematch time, when they were saying, oh my gosh, I don't know what Wilder think he doing and why Fury won't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why he act like he don't know he got this. All those people, it's a lot of those people right now say, oh man, Errol Spence, no man, don't do that again. It's a lot of people. Only Errol didn't get done like Wilder. I mean, I hate, like, so all the people who are Wilder only fans, because there probably are some. I don't mean to be offensive, but the ref was able to come in and console Errol. He got knocked down a couple times, but his face was all busted up, but he didn't have blood coming out his ear. He didn't have a dent in his skull. He didn't get done like that. And Errol wants to go get back into the ring. I can respect that, because those same people were saying, oh man, if he want to go out on his shield, let him go out on his shield. Those same people don't even want Errol to be able to get back in the ring. Those same people don't want to give Errol Spence the benefit of the doubt of him saying, I'll be better. You know what I'm saying? You know how you get your first crack at something, you underestimated something? You ever try to go jump over some shit and you underestimated how high it was? Yeah, you gonna take some bumps and bruises. Yeah. Earl might have thought his 80% could get with Bud because he had been used to using his 80%, his 70, 80% against Danny, his 70, 80% against Ugas, his 70, 80%. That was cool for them. Bud was something different. And he went to go scale that fence, and he realized that, oh man, that was a little bit different. Maybe I can't jump over that fence. Now normally I can jump over the best of them, but not at 70%. I ain't got that extra bunny that I used to have. People saying no way Jose to him even getting back in the ring. I don't agree with him coming out and stamping an excuse. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not a lawyer. I don't jump in defense of those things. That's not my lane. That's somebody else's lane. What I am saying is it's a contract. And I remember these same people. Where were these people? Where were these people when they were saying that, oh man, Wilder, he got to get his rematch? Where were those same people that were saying, it don't matter as long as he be able to land, as long as he can do that? Like, where that same energy? Because it's like some of those same people are coming out saying that Earl, he don't even deserve to be able to get back in the ring. I know it ain't going to get a lot of likes. I know it ain't going to get a lot of clicks. I know this ain't going to get a lot of views. Because it's the truth. Where y'all at? Yeah, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to steer everybody in that direction. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like, because that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be the most popular in real time. I am going to keep it a buck. I'll do a little entertaining. I'm not going to shuck and jive for you. I ain't going to give you no soft shoe. I'm just here to compare because he said I'm confused. I'm learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always a student. You know what I'm saying? I don't claim to be a sensei. You know what I'm saying? I'm not master whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I'm not Mr. Miyagi. That's not me. I'm just led in the cut, like, man, I'm looking at this, like, man, hold on, man. Like, when it came down to Fury and Wilder, y'all was arguing that no matter what, blood coming out the ear, dent in the skull, Wilder deserved to get his rematch. Then y'all even said he deserved a chance to go out on his shield. And Errol Spence got a rematch. He don't even deserve to be able to have another shot. I want to hear from those people. This is burner account friendly. We burner account friendly. Share the video. Tell everybody I'm burner account friendly. So even if you can't rock with me in public, you can use your burner account. You can come in. You know what I'm saying? You can get in the comments section and we can go at it. Even if you got one of them voice things, you can get on here and disguise your voice if you need to. Or you can get in here with the glasses with the big nose on it. You know what I'm saying? However you want to do this, son. Man, I'm like, what's going on, man? This ain't attract a lot of people, because it said the big payback. Where are the Errol Spence fans, man? Did everybody jump ship? Is everybody Boots fans now? I know it's a lot. It's a whole bunch of people that jump straight from Spence over to Bud. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, like you ain't even expressed that you like them both in the first place, but now you went from extreme Spence to extreme Bud. It's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Where everybody at? Or is this too much truth? I guess we can get into some old current events, you know what I'm saying? Some people say it's a notion out there that the fight between Sebastian's sister and Cruz, Gabriela Fundora and Cruz, it might can be an upset in that fight. And if that's that chick that Deja Green was talking about, it might be some relevance or some credibility to that. You know what I'm saying? But that's a fight to keep your eye on. And what else? I still don't know who gonna win this Ryder and Munguia fight. Sometimes I look at Munguia and I'm like, man, he got a good set of skills. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple things like if you special offensively, you definitely can, you know what I'm saying, hit your target if you got some good feet. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to get with him, but I don't know what Ryder we gonna get, man. Cause would that bode well for a rematch? Would Canelo want to go back and rematch John Ryder? But John Ryder was putting in some work on Canelo. He was. over the, I think, accumulation. You know what I'm saying? He looked kind of bad after the fight, but he got in there. He did some damage. If you go back and look at Canelo's face after that fight, oh yeah, you could tell he wasn't going to the club after that fight. He wasn't going to the club after that one. Then we got the circus. We got the circus between that whole Golden Boy thing. You know what I'm saying? We got that going on, but I knew this one. I knew this one wasn't gonna get a lot of attention. I knew this one wasn't gonna be the people's favorite. You know what I'm saying? I needed to do something real exciting. Like people like talking about, you know, the boogeymen and stuff like that, but they don't really like talking about the ones who, you know, don't have no energy. Rolly gonna stop Cruz, in my opinion. I gotta see Rolly, man. I don't know where Rolly's confidence is. I know that Cruz, the juggernaut, that's what I call him. He the juggernaut. He like the real little juggernaut. Don't he look like the juggernaut with that big ass, hard ass head, man? He got like a turtle shell head. He stay behind that guard and he know how to wing it. I think he got long arms and he can generate a lot of force and he got a low center of gravity. He need to get a little bit better. If Cruz would be a lot more dangerous if he worked on his feet. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I call him. But yeah, I mean, as far as current events, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not excited about that card, especially being pay-per-view. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. I'm not, man. You know, I would like a fight between Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman. I actually like that fight. And that's why I wanted to go through all of that part first, so you know that this is separate. I like Keith Thurman up against the Tim Tszyu, but not off of inactivity. I like Rolly and Cruz. And I would pull for Cruz because I know that Cruz is all about, he's not trying to, what they call, finagle the bagel. No, he's not trying to finagle the bagel. What he's trying to do, he's trying to become legacy. So I think that Isaac Pitbull Cruz will carry that belt legacy minded. Like he'll be matched. He might not go right into a unification and do all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He might not. He might go ahead and once he get that belt and establish that he might pick somebody that make him look even better or somebody that's a name. You know what I'm saying? Then go back. But I don't think he's going to play dodgeball when it come down to him and that belt. You know what I'm saying? Cruz can't box on the back foot and Rolly put Tank on the back foot. It's no way Cruz going to deal with that. And yeah, that ain't pay-per-view worthy. Yeah, I wasn't satisfied with it being pay-per-view worthy. You know, I don't know. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know how that fight gonna go for real. I hope Isaac Cruz win. You know what I'm saying? Because Rolly I don't think Rolly's carrying that belt with the mindset of a champion. You know, I think it's just like his 15 minutes of fame. Even though I don't have no problem with Rolly, I know that he's entertaining. I think he's smarter than a lot of people, you know, believe about him. I think he's a lot smarter than what he would have people think. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to play. He's smart. Rolly is smart. He just say a lot of things. He understands the entertainment business a lot better than some of these other guys. But when it comes to actually boxing and all that, I would say that Rolly has more than a puncher's chance. But I think style wise, he might be able to hit Cruz with one of them shots. He might line him up. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Incorporate an uppercut. You know what I'm saying? In there. You might come over the top and then under and over the top and make Cruz play that guessing game, because you can't get hit by a man who rolled on the back of the bus with a helmet. You can't get hit with power by somebody like that. If you roll on the back of the short bus and you had a helmet and you had to have another person other side other than the bus driver to ride on the bus with you, those people have a different kind of power. You can't get hit with that kind of power flush too many times. You know what I'm saying? On a serious note. But I think Cruz, if he get his opportunity to get that belt, he's gonna rock it like a real champ. He don't care about legacy at all. Cruz do got a chin though, 100. Yeah. Everybody waiting on PBC, man. I think we got a little glimpse of what's going on. You know what I'm saying, with PBC. I don't like that. I mean, you know, I salute them. I wish them success, man. I hope Al is forever successful, man, and whatever he do. He gave a lot of black and brown people opportunities to be able to get a bag, you know what I'm saying? And even though knowing the story about Al, because people they're quick to tell you about when it come to the Brown Obama, they're quick to tell you, oh, he got into it for his daughter and this and that. And I'm like, man, that's what's up. But from what I heard, they said Al got into it because his brother was a boxer and he saw that boxers, when they get out of the game, they don't really have no money, and they see how he saw how hard it was, so he wanted it to be his mission to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, boxers was taken care of. And these boxers got to take responsibility for their own actions and how they derail it. But so far, I mean, all I know, because since this is a fact-based channel, this is not opinion-based content. Since it's not opinion-based, I do know that there's paperwork or some other promoters suing that man for what? For paying his fighters too much. Go figure. So I hope we succeed forever. You know what I'm saying? I could be labeled a PBC fanboy or whatever you want, but I wish Al much success, especially with that background, knowing why he got into it and the record, the fact that there's paperwork. You know how everybody who be claiming they from the street, oh man, I got paperwork. With the paperwork. Well, he got paperwork on people trying to sue him for paying his fighters too much. And they have put on the biggest fights with the most grossing money. It'd be very hard for me to hate on anything, you know what I'm saying? Boxing is dog eat dog. If you made it onto the roster, ain't nothing stopping you from getting to the top but you. You know what I'm saying? So I knew this wasn't gonna be a popular one. I knew it wasn't gonna be. I knew this one wasn't gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't gonna have everybody all like You know what I'm saying? It just shows you how much people really don't like Errol Spence, and he's the one. If it wasn't for Errol Spence, according to the pound for pound number one, if it wasn't for him, this fight would have never happened. Out of his mouth, out of his words. You know what I'm saying? Don't argue with me. But I do think that this is good news for Spence and his endeavor for the big payback. You know what I'm saying? I hope he recover. I hope he doing that Rocky movie stuff. I hope he, you know what I'm saying? I hope the eye heal up. I hope, you know what I'm saying, because I want him to get another shot, whether Bud really got his number or not. Maybe. But if Spence got a rematch, I want to see Spence get his rematch. Yeah, and that's a real statement, man. A lot of my fellow Spence fans went to Team Boots. You know what I'm saying? It's like I give Boots his credit, not pull, but it's like I'm not gonna offer one loss. And all of the people especially if any of them are Wilder fans, go back. Just do your homework. Go back and see how many of them were Wilder fans who wanted him to be able to go out on his shield and was out here whining and crying for that rematch. You know what I'm saying? Those same guys are saying, oh, Spence don't need it. You know what I'm saying? And even though he didn't have blood coming out his ear or dent his skull, he might look like Martin. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Tommy Hearns, he might have looked like that in that fight. He might have been man down. But he went out because the ref came in and said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get all that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he deserved his rematch. And you know, it's gonna be kind of weird. Like if Spence do come back and he at least be better and he really give him a run for his money and we really get what we want, it's gonna be a lot of people saying, dang, Spence is still the real. It's like, just because you take a loss, and that's what we gotta do. This is what I'm trying to condition into y'all. Just because a fighter takes a loss, just because he takes a loss, that don't mean it's over for him. And I definitely don't think that other boxers should be condoning and putting those kind of things and driving those narrative home, because it does nothing for the sport. It make people want to prance around like, oh no, oh no, not my O. Oh, hold on, you try to get my O? What? No, man, put that O up. Hey, this is my O. Where your O? Bring your O. Oh, you got one? Well, I'll take that one. Okay, bring your one loss against my O. Let's do it. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get on here and see if anybody want to come in here and you know, to help celebrate the fact that, okay, cool, man, Spence, hey, it's looking all right. Just go ahead and let that thing heal up. You know what I'm saying? Get back in the lab and get your go at it again. At least we'll get a more competitive fight. But all that, I'm going to go fight Tim Tszyu, just like Maury, according to the lie detector test. That was a lie. Anyways, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Like, it's kind of dry tonight. You know what I'm saying? I figure I'll put it in. I know it ain't a popular message. If the spirit moves me to get back on here with something else, you know what I'm saying, I'll come back out. But thanks for tuning in here with Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, Prance? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Body.